Hello everyone. So far we discussed in this Gauss law how to find out electric flux calculations. The second one, Gauss law statement, how Gauss law is used, and third one is some applications of the Gauss law where to find out the electric field, right? And in that applications, the first one is discussed about a rod, uniformly charged rod. The second one is non-conducting and conducting sheets, how to find out the electric field. The remaining one is now a hollow sphere or a non-conducting or conducting spheres. When the volumetric distributions are taken, how to find out the electric fields within the bodies and outside the bodies. So this has already calculated in the electrostatics by the method of integration, but now we are using the Gauss law how to find out the electric field for volume distributions. Okay. So this is application of a Gauss law. So E, electric field due to hollow sphere or conducting sphere. So E due to hollow sphere and conducting sphere. Okay. So actually we have here three, actually in the spheres we have three. The first one is conducting sphere, the second one is non-conducting, the third one is hollow. In conducting, non-conducting, volume contains some material, but hollow is empty. Now what is the difference between those three? For a conducting, if I take a conducting material or a sphere, if this is a conducting sphere, if charge has given Q, for a conductor charge present on the outer surface, this charge will store on the outer surface. It cannot store in the inside. Means here charge inside is 0. For a conductor, for a conducting sphere, charge inside is 0. That is why electric field is not there, because inside charge is not there. So electric field, how it can produce? So inside electric field is 0. Now sir, if it is hollow, see the hollow is not containing material, but still if charge is given, it stores on the outside. Like the same conducting sphere, hollow sphere also the charge presence on the outside, and here is empty space, so that charge is 0. So the similarities are same. Inside charge can never be there, charge presence on the outer surface for conducting and hollow, but the difference is conductor contains material, hollow empty. Now what about non-conducting? Sir, if I take non-conducting sphere, sir, non-conducting means it has a material, and if I give some charge Q, it distributes inside. For a non-conducting sphere, the charge distributes in the volume inside, whereas for both of them, charge rests on the outer surface. This is the main point you need to understand here. Now we will see for hollow sphere or conducting sphere what are the electric field intensities by using the Gauss law. Right. So we are taking hollow sphere halosphere of radius capital R, of radius capital R, and a charge is given, a charge is given plus q. Now we would like to find out the electric field, we would like to find out the electric field at some points. So firstly, electric field I am finding inside the sphere. Inside means I am taking a point P inside at a distance of r, small r. Now at this point, how much field will be there? Here I am using Gauss law. So for the Gauss law, you must form a Gaussian surface, and as a symmetry for this sphere, Gaussian surface also sphere. So I can form a symmetrical surface like this. So the sphere contains Gaussian surface. This is called Gaussian surface. Okay na? Right. Now what is, how to find out electric field? Now apply Gauss law. So according to Gauss, what is Gauss? Closed integral of E bar dot dA bar is equal to charge enclosed by epsilon naught. In this Gaussian surface, is there any charge enclosed? No, because you know that charge enclosed is 0 in the surface, that halosphere. For a halosphere, charge presence on the outside only, no field, no charge inside. So can I take this as 0? Because charge enclosed is 0. It means electric field is, we are taking out, because if electric field is there, if it might be constant. So E into dA, as you know, this area of the Gaussian surface will be 4 pi r square. So E into 4 pi r square is equal to 0. Anyhow this area not be 0, so electric field must be 0. So this is how E inside field will be 0. E inside field will be 0. Now sir, if I want to find E outside, outside of the sphere, what we need to do? For outside, see, it is a halosphere of charge plus q, center, radius is r. Now at this point P, I would like to find the field. See, outside means the point is outside the sphere. Now I will make a Gaussian surface, symmetrical sphere. Now according to Gauss law, you know that closed integral of E bar dot dA bar is equal to charge enclosed by epsilon naught. In this Gaussian surface, the entire sphere is enclosed, means the total charge q is there in the Gaussian surface. Means what is the charge enclosed? Capital Q, the whole charge, by epsilon naught. And you know that due to this plus, the electric field at this point P is outward, because this is plus outward. And if you take some small area, that also dA bar are also in the same direction. So that angle between the area vector and field vector is 0. So you can say that E into dA cos 0 degrees is equal to charge by epsilon naught integration. Okay na? Now cos 0 is 1, E is constant everywhere on this Gaussian surface is constant, take it out, integration is applied for only dA, which is q by epsilon naught. Now what is integration of dx is x, like the same way integration of dA is a. What is area of the Gaussian surface? It is a sphere, sphere area is 4 pi r square. So E into 4 pi r square is equal to q by epsilon naught. Now sending 4 pi r square that side. Now what is E? We got q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. So this is electric field outside. So what is electric field outside? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by small r square. Can I say here q constant, everything constant except r. So E is inversely proportional to r square. E is inversely proportional to R square. Means as you are going away from the source, electric field decreases. Okay na? Now sir, if I want on the surface, now field on surface. For on surface, what is the element Gaussian surface radius? Capital R only, means you can take small r is equal to capital R. Now you can say the formula for E on surface, this is outside, E on surface, so 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by, in the place of small r, the surface has radius capital R, so that q by capital R square. So these formulas only we got in the electrostatics, right? So now this is the way to apply the Gauss law. This is the way to apply the Gauss law to find out electric field intensities at outside, inside and on the surfaces. So did you understand how we applied? Yes. Now I will draw the graphical view of the electric field. You have already learned, but still we are just deriving the same formulas with the help of Gauss law. See, E inside is 0, E on the surface is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by R square, E outside is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by small r square. That is why I will take a graph in between electric field and the distance. Now starts from 0, origin and surface and outside. So the distance is 0, origin, means this is R. Here in this region, smaller is less than R. Now if you go, smaller is greater than R. We know that electric field is 0 up to the radius R, because inside 0, that is why electric field is 0. So this is electric field is 0, and now suddenly at R electric field goes to maximum. At R electric field goes to kq by R square, k value is 1 by 4 pi epsilon R square. Now after that R, means outside, as it is inversely proportional to R square, it is like a parabola. So you know, E inversely proportional to R square, like a parabola graph, you will get like this. So this is the graph between electric field and the distance from the center of the sphere. So this is inside, this is on, this is outside. Inside field is 0, that is why x-axis I draw, and on the surface maximum, and from that it is going to decrease. Okay na? So this is for hollow sphere or conducting sphere, both. Now, and in electrostatics you might learn electric field and potential relation. Electric field and potential, V is equal to minus integration of E bar dot dr bar. So if you know the electric field, it is very easy to find out the potential also. Okay na? So I will give you the same thing. See, for a hollow sphere, electric field is 0 inside. At every point you can take, field is 0. Field is 0 means field is not created. Can I say like this? Between 2 points, if potentials are same, if it is 20 volts, this is 20 volts, difference is not there. When potential difference is not there, how electric field will be generated? You know that electric field generates from high potential to low potential. It means electric field is 0 inside, means at inside every point you can take with the same, they have the same voltage or same potential. That is why in between, inside this sphere, you can take any point. Let me take a point A, point B, and on the surface C. Now I can say that as electric field is 0, inside, I can say that potential must be same. So potential at A, potential at center, potential at B, potential on the surface, all must be same, because the potential, the points are at same potentials, there is no difference. When potential difference is there, then only electric field generated. So electric field 0 means inside points on the surface potential is same. Now you know that due to the sphere the potential is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r, you know, k q by r, k q by r. So this is the potential due to hollow sphere on the surface and also inside. Sir, if you go to outside, now what is the potential on outside the sphere? So k q by, instead of small r I will take capital R, I will take small r. So V is inversely proportional to R. If distance is more, potential decreases, right? So this is what the discussion of electric field and potential with hollow sphere and conducting sphere. Now hollow is done, conducting is done. Now what left? Non-conducting. So electric field due to non-conducting sphere. So I told you already what is non-conductor. If I give the charge presents in the volume. Now take some sphere, non-conducting sphere. Now if I give some charge q, it will distribute uniformly inside the volume, right? Now this is the center, and if I take this as a radius r and charge q has been given. Now for entire volume q charge is given. For total volume, what is the total volume of the sphere? 4 by 3 pi r cube. What is the charge given is q. Now for unit volume, then for unit volume how much charge? The charge will be, you can say for the total volume q, for 1 unit volume q by, so capital Q by 4 by 3 pi r cube. This is called as charge per volume, is called as volume charge density rho. We have linear charge density gamma, surface charge density sigma, volume charge density rho. Okay na? Right. Now we are going to find out electric field in the sphere, non-conducting sphere, at inside points, on the surface, outside points. Now I would like to find out E inside. Now see, I am taking a point here P, which is in the surface inside the sphere now at a distance small r. Now as you know that this contains a charge, entire volume contains a charge. Now I will prepare a Gaussian surface with the radius of r to find out the electric field with the help of Gaussian surface. What is the formula of Gaussian surface? Closed integral of E bar dot dA bar is equal to charge enclosed by epsilon naught. Now closed integral of, here the electric field is E, which is always outward. So electric field is E, and the area is dA, and the angle between them is 0. So cos 0 degrees dot product integration is equal to, charge enclosed, total volume contains this capital Q. Now what is this Gaussian surface charge? So you can say, you know, for unit volume the charge density is rho. Now can I say that now the charge enclosed will be rho times this volume of Gaussian surface by epsilon naught. Now you know that electric field is constant, take it out, cos 0 is 1. So E into dA, which is equal to rho into volume of the small thing is 4 by 3 pi small r cube by epsilon naught. And what is integration of dA is A. What is area of the Gaussian surface? 4 pi r square. So E into 4 pi small r square is equal to, what is the rho? Rho already we got as capital Q by 4 by 3 pi r cube by epsilon naught into 4 by 3 pi small r cube. So you can cancel 4 pi by 3, 4 pi by 3, 1 small r square with r cube. Then what is the formula we will get? Then we will get E inside is equal to Q by, this 4 pi will go, 4 pi epsilon naught, r cube remains there into small r. Now this is the field formula inside. As you know, Q, 4 pi epsilon naught, r cube, all are constant. Now E depends on what? E depends on directly proportional to r. E depends directly proportional to r. As from the center r increases, then electric field also increases. That is why the graph, you can say electric field versus distance for inside points, it is a straight line. Why? Because E directly proportional to r, it is like a y directly proportional to x, y equal to mx graph which passing through the origin. So what is electric field? Center 0, because as r 0, at the center electric field is 0. At the center, what is electric field? 0. And when you move away, the electric field also increases. So this is the way to find out the electric field due to non-conducting sphere at inside points, right? Now what is the field on outside point? Now for the same thing we are going to find out electric field at outside points. Now I am taking a point P outside, so we want to find electric field outside. So at the point P we need to form a Gaussian surface. Now according to Gaussian surface, closed integral of E bar dot dA bar is equal to charge enclosed by epsilon naught. Now closed integral of E bar, E at this point P will be away, because as this is positive charge, electric field is away. And if you take some small element here, that area vector also in the same direction, so that angle will be 0. So you can say that dot product will be E into dA into cos 0 degrees is equal to, what is the enclosed charge? In this Gaussian surface, the whole sphere is kept, means the total charge is enclosed Q by epsilon naught. Now E is constant, we can take dA integration, and cos 0 is 1, so it is Q by epsilon naught. And what is the integration of dA? Is area. What is the area of the surface? As the distance of the Gaussian surface is smaller, so you can say it is a sphere of radius smaller. What is the surface area of the sphere? 4 pi r square. So E into 4 pi r square is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Sending this, so what is the E outside? Q by 4 pi epsilon naught small r square. Now can I say that what is the E directly proportional or inversely proportional to? So E inversely proportional to r square. As the distance increases, field decreases. Now sir, what is the field on the surface? What is the field on the surface? For on surface, what you can say? The distance is equal to r, because you can form a Gaussian surface on the surface like this. So now E on the surface, instead of small r you can keep capital R. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by capital R square. And you know that electric field will be maximum where? On the surface. And if you go outside, then field decreases. Now what is the graph? As you know, electric field versus distance, it is 0 and it is r. This is called as, which is small r less than capital R. This region is called as small r greater than r. So for this region, inside points. Now for inside points, already we know electric field directly proportional to displacement. So that electric field directly proportional to the distance of the point. So E directly proportional to r, straight line. Up to where? Up to the surface. Now you know that at surface E will be k q by r square, which is maximum. So on the surface electric field is maximum. Now after that E inversely proportional to r square. So this is the graph for electric field versus distance for non-conducting sphere. So the difference for conducting and non-conducting is, in the conducting electric field is 0 inside. Okay na? Right. If you know the electric field formulas, then it is easy to find out the potential formulas also with the help of that electrostatic formula. V is equal to minus integration of E bar dot dr bar. So by using this electric field you can find out the potentials also, right? So this is the way to use the Gauss law to find out the electric field due to the volume distributions easily. So if you know how to use the Gauss law, then it is very easy to find out the electric field, right? So we will discuss the next topic. If the spheres or the volume distributions contains some cavities, means there is a empty space inside, then how the distributions will be takes place. The next topic, cavity or cavities inside a conductor. So I am just taking a hole, simply you can say hole. So there is some curved surface, not curved surface, you can say curved sphere, you can say, right, is taken, or you can say a sphere is taken. In that sphere, this is a conducting sphere. As I told you, this is cavity inside a conductor, means I am keeping a hole here and this is a material. Here nothing is there. Now this is a material volume, means it is a metal, conductor na metal. Now if I give any charge capital Q, to the conductor, will it go inside? No. I told you that if I give the charge to the conductor, it will always present on the outward surface. So that charge will never go inside. Means simply in this cavity no charge will be created. So got clear? If you are giving from outside, no charge will be inside. Sir, how? For example, I am taking a point P here and I am forming a Gaussian surface. Now as the point P is inside the metal, what is electric field at point P? Is 0. Right? Now according to Gauss law, E bar dot dA bar is equal to enclosed charge by epsilon naught. Now when E is 0, this one is 0, is equal to Q enclosed by epsilon naught, sending epsilon naught this side. Now what charge enclosed? Means in this Gaussian surface, what is the charge enclosed? 0. It means pakka, when you give the charge Q, that charge can never induce anything into the inner surface. Okay. Sir, if I keep charge inside, then what might be the? I am taking a neutral, I am taking a neutral conducting. So I am taking a neutral sphere, neutral conducting. So neutral conducting sphere means no charge is given, and with a cavity inside. So this is neutral, means charge is 0. Now if I keep any charge small q at the center, now I kept small q at plus small q at center of the cavity, then what happens? Now I will tell you, due to this small q, the charge will be induced. And this is a plus charge, na? So that negative charge will induce on the inner surface of the cavity. So opposite charge induce on inner surface of cavity, and same charge plus q will induce on outer surface. Sir, how you can explain? So I am taking the point P inside the metal. Now you know that electric field inside the metal at a point P is 0. If you apply again Gauss law, integration of E bar dot dA bar is equal to charge enclosed by epsilon naught, and electric field is 0 at point P, means this left side term is again 0, means this 0 is equal to q enclosed by epsilon naught, again epsilon naught this side, means what we are getting, charge enclosed must be 0, enclosed charge must be 0. It means that in this Gaussian surface the net charge must be 0. That is why if center charge is q, what I have taken, this is minus q on the surface. Now in this Gaussian surface, what is the total charge? Q is there, minus q is there, again sum of the charges is 0. That is why I am telling you, when plus charge is kept at the center, due to this opposite charge will create on the inner surface. Okay, sir, how do you take this plus q? Again you can take at a point P and draw a Gaussian surface like this. Outside, not outside, yeah. So outside you can take. So here outside some field is there. 1 minute. Just a minute. So here the small q induces negative charge on the inner surface, plus charge on the outer surface. Why? Because if I take this is a cavity with q, now if I take any point out, we already know that due to this charge negative is created, minus q, and this Gaussian surface at point P there is an electric field. When only small q is there, we have an electric field 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square, means some field must be there. But if you consider now, already this is q, this is minus q. Now in the Gaussian surface, what is the charge we are getting? 0, because q and minus q 0. But you should get some flux out, because already we have taken this is a neutral conductor and charge is kept q. That is why to give a net charge q, that is why q is present there, means this q cancels, no problem. Still in the Gaussian surface, what is the charge? Q. So I will tell you like this. Initially when neutral conductor is taken, only one charge is there, na? Now this is the material. When only one charge is there, I want to find field outside. Now if you take Gaussian surface, now what is the enclosure charge? Q na? What is the enclosure charge? Q. Now the enclosure charge must be small q. That is why what I am saying, even though when charges are distributed, if you take again the Gaussian surface, the net charge must be small q only. That is the purpose why I am keeping plus q. Why? Because this q and minus q already cancelled. So 0. To get q, I must keep one more q. That is why due to the central charge small q, on the inner surface minus q will induce, on the outer surface plus q will induce. So this is how the charges will induced on the surfaces in the cavities. Now you just do one problem. Just tell me, there is a concentric halo spheres, like concentric. So radius is small a, this radius is b. Okay na? Right. Now if I keep 2q charge at the center, 2q charge. Now can you tell me the distributions? As this is halo, material is not there. Due to this 2q, some minus charge creates here, right? So due to this 2q, this must be minus 2q, and the first halo sphere is neutral and everything is neutral. So on the inner surface minus 2q and this surface plus 2q, because as it is neutral, inside minus 2q created, so that outside plus 2q must be created. And again due to this plus 2q, here minus 2q will be created. Here minus 2q will be created. And again this is neutral. It is minus 2q means here plus 2q will be created, so that sum will be 0. So this is how charges will induce on the halo spheres or conductors. Okay na? So you just do problems based on the volume distributions. So if you are perfect in this induction of the charges on these various surfaces, what we have discussed earlier in the sheets and these spheres, then the next topic, capacitors topic, is very easy to do, right? We'll discuss one more problem, just a problem. There are two concentric halo spheres, of radius A and B. A charge small q kept at center. Find charge densities on inner and outer surface. Inner and outer surface of the B. Sorry, here a charge small q is kept on sphere A. So I am taking two halo spheres concentric. This is one sphere, this is one more sphere concentric whose radius is A and this radius is B. Now what I am doing, for this sphere A, this is sphere A, this is sphere B. For this sphere A, I am giving a charge Q. So what is the charge I have given? Q. You know that for a hollow charge, hollow sphere, when you give the charge present on the outer surface. Now due to this, what they are asking, find the charge densities on inner and outer surfaces of the B. We know that due to this Q, here minus charge will induce. As we know already, these facing surfaces must have equal and opposite. This is Q, means this will be minus Q. And they have not given the charge of the B. You can take it as a neutral. Now to make it as a neutral means zero charge. Already this is minus Q is induced on the inner surface. Now what is the charge on the outer surface? The charge on the outer surface will be plus Q. The charge on the outer surface must be plus Q, because the sum again 0. Now they are asking surface charge density. Or surface charge density formula, surface charge density of inner is equal to charge upon area. Now what is the inner surface charge? Minus Q. What is the area of the surface? 4 pi into b square, because this is a sphere where the radius is b. So area of the sphere is 4 pi b square, 4 pi r square na. So sigma outside, what is the charge density? Again outside, again the formula Q by A, charge upon area. Now what is the outside charge? Plus Q, so that it is Q by 4 pi b square. So this is how to do with the hollow concentric spheres. Okay, so this concludes the entire Gauss law chapter. Okay na? So do more questions. We will see the next capacitors topic in the next coming classes. Okay, thank you.